What's up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam, back with my AEW Full Gear preview and predictions. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. I'm now also doing audio for these, so check on Twitter. I usually post a link to the audio broadcast in the description of my tweets. I can't get that right. I'll figure out the best way to say it. Anyway, Full Gear is tomorrow. I just will be posting my AEW weekend review as well, so there'll be a link to that here. What I like to do is I use the confidence point method real quick. There are 9 matches. So you score your matches 1 to 9, 9 being the most confident, 1 being the least confident. And as if you get the prediction right, take the points, you add it to your total, and at the end, see how much you got. What I do is a little bit differently because I like to give both my shoot and my kayfabe predictions. Shoot, basically, what I think is going to happen based on the storylines, based on my understanding of pro wrestling, everything. That's who I think is going to win. My kayfabe prediction is who I want to win. Sometimes they're in alignment, sometimes they're not. Sometimes I know that this person is going to lose, but I want them to win, so I'll just put that out there. All right. So like I said, we got 9 matches, so we'll just run through them real quick. So we get the buy-in, which is their version of their pre-show. So we get the NWA Women's title, Serena Deeb, who recently won it off Thunder Rosa, versus Allison Kay. So Allison Kay recently is become a free agent. She actually just left NWA. So that's interesting. I do think this will frustrate a lot of people who feel that, they're putting almost more emphasis on the NWA women's title than they have their own and their own women's division, which there can be a definitive argument for that, just the way that they've treated the women's division. I mean, obviously, Dark gets more women's matches than any episode of Dynamite, for sure. Here, I'll just do my predictions really quick. Shoot, Serena Deeb, kayfabe, Serena Deeb, and mainly because there's no way that I can see Allison Kay winning this after she just left NWA, because if she wins it, she'd be the NWA World Champion. I feel like this is just going to be like a tryout for her to get signed, maybe by AEW, who knows. But it gets her name out more broader in that sense. I have 9 points of confidence on this just because I just don't see any way for her to become the NWA champ after she already left NWA. So there you go. Next, we have the AEW Women's title of Shida versus Nyla Rose. I don't think this has been a terrific build. I think that Nyla has wanted Shida. I don't feel Shida has done enough. I don't think they put her on enough. I don't think that's really her fault. I think that is just the way they've been booking it right now. They haven't had her on TV a lot. As I said earlier, the NWA Women's title feels like it's gotten more attention. And as I said in my AEW weekend review, that it was just interesting because Nyla Rose on Dark several weeks back, Vicky Guerrero as her manager, mouthpiece, whatever, basically said that they're not going to wrestle until they get Shida, yet she wrestled and, it wasn't Shida. So I just didn't get that. But this is very, I don't know where they're going to go with this. Go into my predictions, shoot predictions. I have Shida, kayfabe Shida. I like Shida a lot, and I'd hate for her to have kind of like a lackluster title run simply because AEW couldn't get it together. But I could see them, because Nyla lost, are they gonna have her lose again, and in that kind of fashion? Then what's gonna happen? Only 1 point of confidence on this because it can go literally either way. So then we get, which was moved from the buy-in to the main card, Orange Cassidy versus John Silver. Silver and Dark Order attacked him on Dynamite. I'm not sure really what this does for either of them, but obviously more of a showcase for Orange Cassidy. Silver is great. I think that he just needs more exposure. Fantastic wrestler. Obviously, he's on the smaller side, even though he's very stocky. But I just think he's hysterical. His segments on BTE, just him in the ring, the way he just talks shit, I think is hysterical. In this, my predictions, and I love Orange Cassidy too. So shoot Orange Cassidy. I just think that, but kayfabe, I'd like to see Silver win just to see how they would handle that if he won. I have 6 points of confidence on that though, because I'm pretty confident that Cassidy is going to win. So then we get our Elite Deletion match, Sammy versus Hardy. I assume this is going to be some kind of cinematic match at the Hardy compound. They haven't specified this either way. Sammy sort of stood tall on Dynamite because Hardy hit him with a chair early on in the night, and then he hit the Twist of Fate on the ramp. So I assume that kind of means that Sammy is going to, he stood tall. I just hope that it is cinematic so that they can really work on this to make sure no one gets killed, because I just can't. I'm nervous for both of them at this point. You know, will Sammy get thrown into the lake of reincarnation because he was wrestling kind of face on Dynamite? How will that work out for him, especially with the later match of Jericho and MJF? So, predictions. I want Hardy to win. I believe Hardy will win. So shooting kayfabe, both Hardy. I have 5 points of confidence on this. Kind of middle of the road on this one, because I just assume because it's the Hardy compound, it's his turf, he'll win there. So we get our next match is Jericho versus MJF. Obviously, if MJF wins, he's in the inner circle. Wardlow would technically come with him, part of a package deal. So they defeated Sammy and Ortiz on Dynamite, and Jericho speared him through the. MJF speared Jericho through the back drop kind of thing when he was on commentary, which Jericho obviously approved of because he had called him soft. And MJF has made it a point to say that he will do anything to win. In the end, I know this won't end well. Whatever happens here. But shoot, MJF, kayfabe, MJF on my predictions. Middle of the road on this though, for 4 points of confidence. I'm just not sure, but I'm pretty sure because Jericho has shown that he wants to put over the young guys, Orange Cassidy being one. So this would make sense. So yeah. So we had our finals of the Eliminator tournament for first crack at whoever comes out of Full Gear as the champion. So we get Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega. Great video package and interviews on Dynamite. Kenny looks supremely confident, even saying that he's destined to win. Obviously, there was a little beef between them when they went to go help out the Young Bucks when they got attacked by FTR. Hangman was the first one to come out, even though on BTE and just through everything we know that he's beefing with them. And Hangman is, and Page, and Omega isn't, Kenny isn't, so he was out after that. It looked like they were fist bumped, they would be all right. Then Hangman kind of just, let all those feelings bubble up to the surface and say, you know what, I'm not cool with all this. So we'll see what ends up happening there. My predictions, though, I think it's Kenny's time. I think they want Kenny to be in that position at this point. So Kenny for shoot, Kenny for kayfabe, but I could easily see them, just giving it to him and then having Kenny go full cleaner on everybody. Only 2 points of confidence on this. I am not confident at all. And then we have our AEW TNT title, Cody versus Darby. Cody Rhodes is back, has his name back. As I said on my AEW Weekend Review, he had told the crowd, I guess the trademark had lapsed or something like that. Very little interaction with Cody between him and Darby. They've had video packages, but not really in ring, face-to-face stuff. I'm not sure here if this is somewhere where Team Taz, who has an issue with Darby and who has said that they will have some kind of presence at Full Gear, or the Dark Order, who also will have who's had an issue with Cody, and especially with Brody Lee. He's been off TV for several weeks now since he lost. Will they have something to do with this? Either way, we know this is going to be an overbooked mess, just because it's Cody. My predictions here, Cody for shoot. I feel like he's just going to keep the title, even though I feel like to keep Darby strong, there'll be some shenanigans. Even though in my kayfabe, I actually am picking Darby because I think he would. I think it's time for him. He's, how many times are they going to have him lose these big matches? Confident points, only 3 though, because like I said, it can go either way. And will there be some kind of shenanigans? Maybe Darby wins, but there's shenanigans. So, he can win the match without that. So, and then the AEW Tag Team titles, Bucks versus FTR. If the Bucks lose, they say they'll never challenge again for the tag team titles. Matt's still selling his leg, but he said that he is better, as he said on Twitter. Last year's Full Gear was where Cody had said that he put his chances of vying for the title on the line and lost. So this is kind of interesting. But I just don't see both of them doing it. And because Cody has the ability to challenge for other singles titles, whereas the Bucks don't. Unless there's some kind of shenanigans and then they get to, a way to get out of it. But they haven't really done that kind of stuff yet. So my predictions here, the Bucks for shoot, Bucks for kayfabe. I just think it's the Bucks' time. I think they, should be the champs. 8 points of confidence on this. I just don't see them not being able to vie for the tag team titles ever again, even though the tag team division is stacked. And then finally, our AEW title match, an I Quit match, Mox versus Eddie Kingston. I've just absolutely loved this build between them. The promos alone, not just the physical stuff between them, but the promos alone have been great. The video packages, the vignettes. We had on Dynamite, we had a face to face where if they hit each other, the match wouldn't happen. So they just got nose to nose, which was pretty wild. They were talking about, it was very personal, saying that Eddie was going to give it to his mother, and this is why he doesn't have kids or a wife, because he loves his business and this is all he cares about in his business. And I just don't see, and the way that Mox had said, that he was happy for him because he was close with him, but that he's gonna, he made a promise to always look out for Eddie, but now he's gonna have to break that promise. I just can't see Mox losing to Eddie. But how will Mox get him to say, I quit, because Eddie said you're gonna have to kill me to do this, so that'll be interesting. So are my predictions. Mox, shoot. But in my kayfabe, I'm picking Eddie, because that would be fucking wild if Eddie wins. Huge upset, and how will they have him as the title holder? But I'm pretty confident in this. 7 points of confidence there. So there you have it. AEW Full Gear preview and predictions. I'll also be doing my review and results on probably Sunday at some point. So also check out my AEW Week in Review. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. Stay safe, be safe, love each other, and just, we'll get through this week. It's going to happen on some other stuff I won't get into, but yeah. Bye now.